What is going on with you, mate? You look like a cross between, I don't know, Liberace and Amy Winehouse.
Why are you so surprised, Steph? I've been soul-searching for the last couple of weeks, mate. You know, we're living in a world, of diversity, different cultures, religion. Did I say religion?
Who are you?
Yeah, people are searching for whom they are, where they are, and why they even exist, Steffi. And I'll tell you who I am, mate. I'll tell you who I am. I'm a vegan, transgender, hunter-gatherer, religious French lawyer, nun broadcaster who enjoys vaping organic, decaffeinated soy breast milk thrice a day. I'm a pretentious, shy, extroverted Aucklander who partakes in Nepalese Bikram yoga naked CrossFit Pilates 8 times a week. I'm also a male feminist whose dog they could be mistaken for a rat walks me while I'm listening to a podcast of eavesdropping recordings of Michael Checker trying to flirt with Jenny Shipley whilst trying to charm a snake with a didgeridoo. By the way, my dog has his own Instagram account. If you find that weird, you're an arrogant, ignorant, omnivore, homophobic, Donald Trump voting wounder of a sexist. Rest in peace, Harambe. What a great test match this last weekend, fellas. You know, obviously the ABs put on 40 points by half-time. Geez, they look good.
They look a lot better than you do, I'll tell you that.
Nisbo?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'll just make one point. 80 years and 7, our fathers brought upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are equal.
That sounds like something out of Nadia Lim's cookbook. But yeah, I do the monologues around here, Nisbo, and it's good to see you've got the double denim on once again, mate. But anyway, boys, we travel down south to Forsyth Bar. The sweaty glass box, the zoo's going to be there, and that's exciting. Bender's last game before the sabbatical. Liam Squire had a sublime match last week, and also Damien McKenzie. Nisbo, you talked about passing on the baton. These guys really clutched that baton, didn't they? And they ran with it.
Yeah, I suppose ironically Damien might miss out because they'll probably want to play Ben Smith at fullback. But no, Liam Squire was an absolute revelation. I found myself actually thinking at half-time, I don't know whether I want this to continue. I'm not sure I want to see 80-odd points put on the Wallabies.
We just need to sit back and enjoy and revel in this All Black team at the moment, because the time will come that they won't be this dominant. I know we've been saying that for a few years, but it was a great watch, Ants. I'm just battling looking at you, to be honest.
Yeah, I was actually at a baby shower, and it was hell of a doozy. The twit machine is coming through, the tweeting machine, at Head On Balls for all the fans watching this live. And we've actually got our first one through. Ant, you're a beautiful soul inside and out from Dorothy Durry and Tie Happy.
So she's back.
She's back in the mixer. Absolute beautiful lady. Nisbo, you're one of the greatest commentators to echo through the box for the last 30 years. Have you ever nipple-grippled Justin Marshall for his silly remarks? That's from Big Bruiser 49er.
Oh, look, I can't reveal those sorts of things. What happens on the commentary box stays in the commentary box, for heaven's sake.
Mad respect.
One more for Steffi here. Steph, you've been on the sidelines for a good 15-odd years, you old bugger. Standing in what stadium makes you weak at the knees, atmosphere-wise? That's from Jenny on the block.
Probably the number one was Suncorp Stadium, and it was because the All Blacks were there, and I don't know if you've ever been to Suncorp, but the seating is almost vertical, like the old Millard stand, and they did a thing before the game started, and the whole stadium plunged into darkness, and then just a spotlight appeared down on the in goal, and there was George Gregan, and he walked out to the middle. Then a spotlight at the other one, and it was Nick Farr-Jones. And
Owen Finnegan, one of the greats.
Oh,
was he part of that spotlight campaign?
No, he wasn't. No, I think he was just a bit busy laying concrete. And John Eales, and they brought out all the greats of the Australian rugby team. And even though I wasn't Australian, that was moving. I thought that was incredible.
Oh yeah, fellas. Yeah, interesting stat that I was actually reading in the weekend. This is actually one for you, maybe. If we look at the spine of the AB's backline, Ryan Crotty, the 4 games that we've lost or drawn, he hasn't been available. Has he been the missing link for this AB since Conrad Smith?
Yeah, I think that's a fair call, actually. He's a very similar player to Conrad Smith, isn't he? He's a cerebral player. He thinks a lot about, he does the right thing, doesn't he?
He has been amazing, hasn't he? Scintillating. Sort of like an avocado, like a rock hardcore centre. Okay, we might as well go for the score predictions this week, fellas. And this week, believe it or not, I'm going to go for Ben Smith to cross the chalk again. He scored 17 or 18 tries in the Rugby Championship. He's going to make it 19. So that's great odds. In front of his hometown, in front of the zoo, he is going to be fizzing.
Do you know which player has scored the most tries ever in rugby championships?
Dick McCaw.
Yes.
Yes. Nisbo, I'm feeling you got something up your sleeve this week.
As Steve Hansen famously said, my arm. I think Dane Coles might score a try this week. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Dane Coles, remember him?
Yeah,
I think he might score a try.
Oh, I love Dane Coles. God bless the great man. And we might as well go for 3 try scorers here, Staffy, while we're at it.
I'll go the big man, Sonny Bill. Sonny Bill will smash through and score a try.
And how good was he last week?
He was tremendous.
Even with concussion.
Yeah, even with that, what was it, the first round knockdown, no standing 8, just allowed to continue and played beautifully.
Well, there you have it, guys. 3 try score predictions, and I think maybe even all 3 will come off. Imagine that. We'll have a little tea party at Nisbo's next week with Dorothy Durry from Tie Happy, and we can really get rowdy, really push the boat out. Also, lads, in other news this week, one of the greats, Sir Pinetree Meads, is gone. You want to say a few words?
Yeah, look, he is the forefather of rugby. He's the godfather of rugby in New Zealand, isn't he? And I always remember one day I was flying back from a test match, it's a few years ago, in Dunedin, and I got seat 7E, which is the middle, and I don't like middle seats. And I sat down begrudgingly, and then in walked Sir Brian Lahore and Sir Colin Meads and sat either side of me, and I fair shit myself. It was just amazing. And Colin Meads sat down next to me and he goes, "I recognise you, young fella. How you going? How did you enjoy the game?" And we talked rugby all the way, me, Colin and Brian, and it's a day I'll never forget. And a mark of the man, he was more interested in me than he should have been. He just asked me a lot of questions, and it was the best hour and a half of rugby in my life.
Look, he's a great fellow. I remember seeing him in the Corrie Club the day after he was knighted, and I just happened to be in the Corrie Club, and I went over to him and said, "Well done, Sir Pinetree," and all the rest of it. I knew him a wee bit, and he said, "I'm not into this sort of nonsense, I can tell you."
Great stuff, mate. Great memories. I actually had the honour as well, and I got to sit next to Michael Jones and Sir Pinetree Meads. And obviously, Michael Jones doesn't drink, so he was running the cutter, grabbing me the beers from where he was allocated. And I was sitting next to Sir Pinetree, and I shared a meat pie with him. And I still remember after I shook his hand, it was shaking like a bunch of bananas, big, big hands. And then he goes, "That's a bloody good meat pie, mate. Thanks." And that's one of the greatest memories. And it just shows you he's down to earth and an absolute legend. So, rip the great man. But anyway, that's all we have for this week. Up the mighty ABs once again. And I'm going to also be down there on Sunday for the Ranfurly Shield game for Ladies' Day. So I'll be seeing you there, Nisbo. I'll probably lift the shield as well in this attire. Please don't hit on me while I'm down there. Yeah, Nisbo. I know you said you're like...
No danger.
I know you're gawking at me when I walked into the studio from a distance.
I'm going to get a coffee, mate. Do you want one?
Yeah, mate. Just a Marilyn Monroe, mate. Blonde 2 boobs, thanks.
What's that?
Milk 2 sugars.